Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird and wonderful world, and welcome, Sparks fans, of course. Absolutely, because this is day 5. We are Wednesday, and I am going to give my thoughts and feelings about Indiscreet. Yeah, their fifth album. So day 5, their fifth album. I'm on track, and since I don't have that album in particular, I made sure to this time from here on in, I wrote down all the names of the songs, and as I was listening to each song, I gave it a as soon as the song was done, I gave it a very off the top of my head ranking of how much I liked it, like out of 10. So it could be an 8.5, it could be a 9.5, that type of thing. And then at the end, I calculated it all up and I have an average rating of the album based on how much I liked all of the songs. So, okay, let's get into it. Well, let's talk about the album itself. Okay, I love that cover of the. I don't have the actual cover here to show you, but I left it on the thumbnail. Very clever. I held up another picture, another CD, and imposed that picture on top of that just to make it look like I'm holding it. I think it's pretty clever, but I don't actually own it. No. So now the first time I heard the album was months ago when Larry Graves left it on his Patreon specifically for me, and I again want to thank you for that, Larry. That was awesome, and I like it. I really do. I do enjoy it immensely. And so, as I'm going to go along, I'm going to give you my rating of my rating will tell. It's not a ranking, but it will be a rating of each song, and you'll see how much I enjoyed it by those. So let's start with the first song, "Hospitality on Parade." Again, it's one of those jaunty songs. And as openers go, it is a really good opener to open up an album, especially on this last listen where I was rating each song. I had to give it a 9 out of 10 because it is a great song and I it feels if it wasn't an opening song, I maybe might have gotten slight. No. I still probably would give it a 9 out of 10. No, and then, of course, to follow up with Happy Hunting Grounds, again, that would be, I'd give that another 9 out of 10. And yeah, yeah, because it is a good song. It's a great way to open up the album. I find it's just, guys, just a little bit of a down without using hands. I gave it an 8, a solid 8, okay, out of 10. and and it's, I don't know. I guess I can't really define why exactly. It just didn't hit me as hard as those first two songs did, you know. But then, but then they make up for it in the next song with number 4, "Get in the Swing," which is probably it's probably in some ways my favorite song of the album, and so that's why it gets a 10 out of 10. Like, it automatically gets a 10 out of 10 because it is the best song on the album, and I really do like it. So far, all the other songs didn't reach over, not like it had reached 9, but "Get in the Swing" hits a 10. Then "Under the Table with Her," for me, is my least favorite song on the album, and so I give it a 7.5 because it's still a pretty decent song, but it is my least favorite song on the entire album. So you know from here on in, all the rest of the songs are going to be rated 8 or more, depending. So that was the only 7.5, the lowest score that I give on this whole album. Yeah, it just didn't. The music just didn't hit me right. It's a little bit more. I don't know, not my style. But then, "How Are You Getting Home" notches it back up to an 8 because it's not a bad song. I like it. But then the next song 9.5 with Pineapple because it's just a clever song. Is that point in the album I would say is when you're like, okay, now I really get the album, what the album is about. Even that first time listening through it is like you and there's another song later on that I'm gonna when I get to it, you'll see I feel that has a certain and the whole album, okay, in particular, but you I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll see when we get there. It's just a certain the way that each the titles of each song, the certain title, yeah. Okay. The next one, of course, is you know, tits, and referring to drinking, referring to the your wife at home that they were first for fun and now they're for for lunch for Junior. They were something I was interested in, and now I was like, you know, I want to make sure, but I'm going to be drunk enough to when I go home that I'm not gonna, that it's not gonna bother me that I can't have I don't have the fun that I used to have. Now that we have a little kid, like my fun is over, and so yeah. I mean, there's of course again, if you want a better if you want a better interpretation of any of these songs or anything of Sparks that I consider the authorities. I'm going to again leave it everything down in the comments below. There's Monty Mullen, there's Paul Barrett from Metasparks, and there's Larry Graves from the Canadian Stud Muffin or and beyond. So those are the authorities. I suggest you go and see their channels on anything Sparks because they have much better and much more precise things to say about it. Again, I'm just giving you my impressions because I have said before in the other ones I am a new fan, and so I don't have I can't really articulate meaning with the songs and the lyrics. I don't have the lyrics with me, so I can't go through the lyrics. But that's all good. So we go to the next song. It ain't 1918. I give that an 8.5 because it is a good song. I do enjoy it more than some of the other ones. Like for the next one, for example. So it ain't 1918. Yeah. Again, what are they saying? You're gonna hear my theory about what this whole album, where I'm thinking where I'm thinking they're also talking about for some reason, and why are they talking about that particular topic? Well, we'll get to it when a certain song comes up. So the next song, "The Lady Is Lingering," I give it an 8 out of 10, just a flat 8 out of 10. You know, so but then the next two songs again they kind of start making up for it more. So I give "In the Future" a 9 out of 10 because yeah, it's my kind of song in many ways. I love the style of it. I love the message behind it. The future, future, future. It, I mean, again, some of the songs has just a touch of a diva flavor to it. I am liking the album much more than the first couple of times I heard the album. I have maybe heard this now in its entirety 5 times. Yeah, yeah, 5 times. So I can't wait to get them all. I can't wait to get all of these. So the next song I give 9.5. Looks, looks, looks. And it's with this song in particular that you listen to that style of music, okay? With the way he's singing it, it always reminds me of the 1940s style of music. The topic, the whole album in many ways has a 1940s flavor. All the songs, he like with get in the swing. It's either the 1940s or the 1920s. You know, it, could I be wrong with 1940s? Because the first thing that comes to mind is looks, looks, looks. Oh no, no, no. Think about the 1940s. Not 1940, but the 1920s. Could they be talking about the 1920s? It's saying that it ain't 1918, so they could be at the cusp of 19. They could be on 1919 and almost ready for 1920. So all these songs in the future, like talking about the future, right? The future being like the next millennium, because yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think, but yeah, but looks sounds so much like an old timey song that tickles me. And that's why I give it a 9.5, because it has that, and it's jaunty and it's catchy. The lyrics are fun, you know. And then the end the album with "Miss the Start, Miss the End." Not bad. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. So it has some charm that but to get a 9 or higher, it has to be a little bit more special, which is why, Pineapple got a 9.5, which is why looks get a 9.5. The only other two 9.5s in there, considering Get in the Swing is not a 10 out of 10 for me, because I do love it. And then Hospitality on Parade, Happy Hunting Grounds, Tits, In the Future, they all get a 9. Okay, but now but I want to include into all of this those three bonus tracks, or B-sides, whatever. Profile, I Want to Hold Your Hand, in England. For Profile, I give that an 8 out of 10. It's not a bad song. It's okay. It's good, but not more of the songs that I enjoy from Sparks. I Want to Hold Your Hand, I give it an 8.5. I know they were making a statement, but it would have been cool to hear what they would have, if they would have put twisted just a little bit of weirdness into it. It could have been a much more cooler and interesting song. But they just kept it very safe, very very tranquil. But because it's the Beatles song, otherwise I would have gotten an 8. But because it's the Beatles song, I give it an 8.5. And England, I also get an 8.5, because let's face it, it's a decent song. I actually like it. I like the message. I like what they're talking about. And again, for all of this, I suggest you go and watch Paul Barrett's Metasparks channel, and he gives you a much better insight in this. I'm always going to endorse that channel, because again, I think he's way more on the money, on topic, and correct with his assessments than not. There may be some discrepancies. He may be wrong about some stuff, but I think in general, on a whole, I think he's on the target. So here's the list. I'm going to be doing this to every album, whether I own it or not. So so there's my ranking. So it came out to an 8.6 all around. So this album overall, keeping mathematically, is an 8.6. So I'm pretty happy with that score, which means it's a good album. And we're eventually I'm going to go back and do the same ranking for all the other albums, the four first ones, but not yet. I'll do that at a little bit of a later date, but I will be continuing tomorrow with, what is it? Big Beat. I think that's what's next, or is it Terminal Drive? Which I forget. I I have to learn more, and I will be. but whatever, which one is the next one tomorrow for the sixth album, that's what I'm going to be doing. And so look forward to seeing that. I love you all. I'm going to end it now. I want to do this one a lot more shorter, since I don't have the album. I can't bl- babble on with lyric stuff and that. I kept it to the point, and yeah. So I love you all out there, everybody. If you consider subscribing to my channel, I would greatly appreciate and love you forever. And and please, of course, hit like, comment, all that good stuff. But please, please be safe. Take care. All right, we'll see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.